see our pros jumping off from the ship because we saw some very last-minute changes on some of these POIs.
Yeah, Icholo's Laser, they were the ones saying, we're going to mystery drop, we are going to mix it up, you cannot predict this. And here we see them going towards Big Maud. So Mizuchi were hoping to have both that and stacks to themselves. They're not going to get it this game. And look, I know from talking to them that playing from stacks in this particular situation, depending on how the Maud team plays, can hugely affect your rotates. You know, do you have to go through the vault tunnel, or can you actually go swing past Maud and take the balloon up there near the dome? Is a big question. And if you've got a team who's not familiar with Maud, they might take a little longer to loot. They might start shooting at you when you get out there.
Maybe not familiar with the game out here, because something I am familiar with is how congested the north side of World's Edge has been. Space Station claiming that entire north side where they'll have a ring console. We know that Elevate, Bleed, Land by Survey, they won't have that third-party opportunity that they may have been eyeing before we saw those POI drafts change up a little bit. But what we are going to be able to see and stay consistent, something that we've also been very familiar with, Genome, has been some skyhook zones throughout the course of the season. And honestly, we highlight Team Falcons and the fact that now this circle is pooling also on top of Aurora. Your winners of game number 2 is going to be absolutely huge.
And Agents of Chaos that might be hoping for that pullback down towards Grandma's house where that survey beacon is right now. I think they will be disappointed. I do think this one is going far enough up that it should hit Skyhook. And Aurora, who are opening that vault right now at the south, should be very well situated, as you mentioned, not only in the series overall, but particularly here in match 3.
But it is important to note that they don't have access to the ring console. That's on Team Falcon's side. DMS, quick with it, because in Countdown, they had the ring console, so they have the circle information. And you can only imagine with Aurora hearing them come by, they can make the assumption that this is where the circle could be pooling. We know with these skyhook zones that there are a lot of teams that could coexist in these buildings in the late zone. So I'm not expecting Aurora to move anywhere, but to their benefit and the way that they play with the lifeline, with the legend composition, they have an Evil Harvester, and like you noted, you know, we saw them have access to that vault.
Yeah, and they've gone for the field research upgrade anyway, Vicky, on the Pathfinder, right? So, you know, you have to make that choice. It's one or the other in terms of grabbing ring console knowledge or the survey beacon knowledge. And yeah, they've opted for the survey beacon. Both, of course, as you know, you're sort of alluding to, they are on the other side of Skyhook, and you can try to get them, but you know, especially if it's a Skyhook zone, Team Falcons probably are going to be sticking around, and it can be a bit risky to try and get in there if they're not moving out.
I mean, when you see that it's hot on the block here, look at this. I mean, Blacklist has made their appearance. GHS are rotating through the train tracks. Tunnel side phase have now taken an evac tower right through their Twisted Minds. Gonna slowly be approaching here too, but with ExoClan also coming in from the Vault Tunnel side, so many teams have already gone ahead with this rotate.
About half in there, about half still to go. I wonder if that's going to be the, you know, roughly the split of zone teams versus not. We do tend to get more zone-heavy teams that make their way into the finals, and I think that's reflected here in the amount of Watson that we're seeing in our finals lobby, slightly higher than what we saw in the group stages.
Which could end up being a double whammy for Aurora. And to highlight this team again, this is a team that likes to play by the edge, that likes to plan Evo Harvester pathing to go for their advantage for that lifeline Evo Cash that she gets to spawn with that purple Evo Shield perk, but they don't have a Watson. That's why they opt for that composition, because it benefits them playing more so by zone. Whereas a team like Alliance, they have to travel up to the north side by Skyhook, exiting out of Thermal, and that's going to benefit them even more since, again, they don't have a Watson for the same reason, and instead are going to be able to come into that next zone with full res, probably.
Interesting to note that Team Liquid went for the Conduit pick in this particular game as Guild try and find some space for themselves in the building there. Now, they have been playing this the entire... Wow, okay. Didn't have my eye on them as much during Game 1 and 2, but yeah, it's the Pathfinder Horizon Conduit. Apparently, regardless of map, that is fascinating. This is usually a composition specifically, tooled for taking contests at the start of the game. Are they really that worried about, a random Icholos drop? Or I wouldn't think so. It seems like this is a deliberate ploy to try and increase their team fighting power, but, we're over in Skyhook now, and, having Watson inside a building just becomes so much more valuable than the occasional flick of shields from a Radiant transfer.
I mean, that's how you become a trendsetter, right? If you're trying to take a different approach and you know that you're not at match point yet, obviously they'll change their composition if they are one of the teams to hit match point first, because then they will be easily targeted otherwise. But to then go in to just get aggressive, to be able to hit those 60 points first, could be part of their game plan. I mean, they're seeding it in 5th overall. We know that they got 4th place in game number 1 with 7 KP, 11th in game number 2 with 3 KP. We have to see how that's going to work into a final zone like this, where, again, you're going to be bunkered down in a lot of these buildings over here by Skyhook.
One of the only teams who's not from South America, potentially. I think this is probably South America's best performance at LAN, if not very close to. The fact that 2 out of 2 have qualified for the finals, made it to that top 20 is very impressive. And actually, Zephyr in the green room just before was saying it was a very late effort from both of them. I think it might have even been in game 10 that they got those points and managed to crawl over the line into the top 9. But nonetheless, very impressive and great to see that they've still got that representation and some good teams over there.
Latam represent. You love to see it. I talked to a member of Icholas actually earlier today in the elevator, and saying that they're a little worried, not because they're afraid of their performance, but because they don't want to have the naysayers be right. They feel pressure. They have something to prove out here to the public, that there's a reason why South America should be represented in a pro league setting, and now they are really showcasing their ability as 2 teams coming in from South America are really putting in the work. But the Crypto Drone, the EMP coming out, forces Brutus to drop down here, actually trying to split some focus fire from Azel on the other side.
One of the 2 crypto teams in the lobby, LGD, playing from the high ground here, hailing from China and Apex South. A couple of lands under their belt now. Somewhat inconsistent results for them, but it does feel like, depending on what the meta is, they can have a good result. So we see them just trying to wait this out. It looks like they really just wanted control over the ring console there.
Seeing though, as they're playing by the edge here right now, they're focusing on playing for the rotate. They will eventually meet up with Team Liquid, but that's not the only team, because we know, as we saw earlier on, that Countdown has a ring console. So a lot of these southern edge zones will inevitably meet there on perhaps the rotate through Skyhook, and Team Liquid flying right over through Alliance. Space Station take Grandma's house for free, but they still are pressuring out LGD, who are taking their time on the rotate. Wondering with Countdown here, yep, this is the landing right now that we also were able to see. Alliance versus Team Liquid, with Alliance having a positional advantage.
An ultimate that we haven't seen a lot of. Conduit able to try and help create some space between Team Liquid and Alliance now. That said, they did have to drop down to the low grounds. Got the Horizon though, so if they get a nice lick of damage, they can easily reposition and try and take them out. But, I mean, this is Alliance we're talking about. They're not going to give that up very easily.
Also showing presence out here too. They're playing very split on Countdown for a reason. Going to be able to buy that space for that squad, deny that information from Team Liquid. The side-by-side really highlighting the pressure that these pros are facing right now. So we get to take a look at Mizuchi, who also are actually wrapping around Monument. I did see them exit out of survey. They may have gotten that information, because again, this circle is directly pulling on top of where Team Falcon's POI is. It is insane here. Slight rough start, now having the POI advantage for this team. And as Mizuchi approached, maybe by Grandma's house, Space Station, we saw them earlier, were by that survey beacon, denying that space from other teams that are going to be rotating from the east side.
Yeah, and Falcons have taken up spot in the north to northwest of Skyhawk, and I really like these positions. These buildings seem to be the most, or the least vulnerable to other teams randomly pushing in towards you. The zone continues to pull that way. They're sitting in a beautiful spot. They can stay there, and if not, you at least don't have to worry about the chaos behind your back as you try and reposition. It does in fact pull even further north, and Falcons now in an awesome spot. LG just below them in probably the second best spot, playing around market, and it's a similar spot, except that you have to be very proactive because there's a lot of sight lines that go into market. So unlike the buildings where you can see Falcon in right now, you know, they can play a little bit more passively if they want to. LG don't really have that option.
Yeah, a lot more vulnerable in a spot like market. But if you are trying to get that KP down packed quicker, you want to be able to get to those 60 points before all these other squads, right? So if you want to get involved in these fights, Team Falcons may be looking to hold a lot more space between that safe northern building, maybe the building that neighbors them here. Space Station, though, is well involved in a fight, sending out the the fuse tack. Nice tick damage, but they could also approach from the Vault Tunnel side. They cannot ignore the fact that Mizuchi has taken their time on this rotate. They're focusing down on Team Liquid, and they are pinched versus Alliance.
Yeah, exactly. Space Station in the good spot right now. But going back through the tunnel, I think, is good here.
And by the way, Aurora, your winners of game number 2, just taken out Blacklist, putting points on the board. And also, Team Liquid, as we see right here, in a lot of trouble. Only a solo left, Nizul holding onto the sniper tower, but they're the only squad in this lobby with the conduit, like we noted, the support legend. Can he make miracles happen? It's going to be very difficult because both Space Station and Alliance have given up this fight. See that the circle is going to continuously pull towards the northwest and want to prioritize their rotate.
Yeah, one of 2 support legends in the lobby, Vicky, which of course means they can get the they can craft the banners, they can get the respawn. So if they can make their way down, there is one over there in Countdown, but it looks like Alliance is actually going to hold them out. Meanwhile, LGD trying to hold Space Station out on the other side.
LGD, though, have managed to take that evac out of here. Space Station with only Zainu here alive, but he could get the res as they were already able to get away. Team Liquid finally get called out. It was a very difficult rotation with Alliance trying to circle keep you. It's going to be even more difficult, though, looking at Alliance, unless they have an evac tower, to completely go over the rest of the lobby that have already found themselves in Skyhook.
Got a glimpse of LGD, who did make it into Skyhook, but potentially too late after taking too much damage with SSG. See if Zainu looting all those boxes will net perhaps enough medkits to get back in zone, and hopefully as well a mobile respawn beacon to get the teammates back in too.
With the way that Falcons have to play this safely, though, look at them. They're still rocking full blue Evos because they weren't giving up this space. It looks like they haven't really been able to farm the damage that they need. And I don't expect them to be going anywhere because Elevate Bleed are on the outskirts of their building, while a majority of these squads are going to be fighting over to the south side of their position. Again, Falcons the only team left with the POI advantage, as we saw Aurora exit earlier.
Yeah, so Falcons sit here. They are very far away from purple at the moment, but all right, we're going to have a listen with Mizuchi right now in second place.
Still nothing, still nothing. Come, just get in. I'm cracked though. You good? I'm going up and batting. That team isn't in north, by the way.
Yeah, we can play for the
backside.
Can we hit for an evac?
It's a one team low ground.
I don't think we can cross that. I think we have to play for an evac in the back.
I've almost cracked 2.
Yeah.
I think we just play for the walk-in. Timmy, no?
I mean, that walk-in's really hard, but I'm
down. Behind! Cracked! Bang! Bang 1! Bang 50 push! Nice to me! Play for these kills, and then we're just going to play for the walk-in, trust me. He's going left.
I cracked him.
Nice, good shots. I'm getting my thirst. It's just a Watson. Okay.
Blue armor in this building.
Yeah, I'm gonna bang ult the roof, and we're gonna look to just walk in. I'm bang ulting.
Wait, I'm batting.
I'm smoking front too. Smoking front. 80 purple bang. I'm batting. It's more than one team here. Yes. We just need to get to the corner. For now. Yep. I'm ready. I cracked them on roof. Just get in. Just play here on me. Hold this door. And care getting picked from roof, okay?
Yeah.
Just chill for a sec. I'm making it.
They're looking down, looking down. Got him, got him. Wait, can I evac? Can we just evac and go up?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, evac and go up. But someone
Okay, I'm shielding.
Wait, what's he?
Yeah, good. They're on roof. Just chill, just play under this, Just chill. There's no bottom floor. I'm going bottom floor. Get in. I got
The frantic comms coming in from Mizuchi here. They force their way into this building, and you can hear in their comms the confidence as they not only gatekeep one team, but are now in the same building as Alliance and LG.
Walty, the most polite comma in the entire Apex Legends scene. He'll say, please and thank you, and you'll get the job done. And, well, you can't argue with the results. Mizuchi have been doing so well. Second place already. Alliance go down at the hands of Sykes' charge rifle there.
The fact that Sykes likes to use that, like, just psychopathic out here, but maybe no other choice with the way that they had rotated so quick from the very beginning, like we saw. Fnatic eliminated, 11 squads left. Mizuchi still in this building, but LG have other plans. They have already rotated out of this and are now approaching from the north side of zone where Falcons have already been.
Yeah, so LG, you gotta remember, they were previously in market, but their spot got out.
And the fact that Hal just completely wipes out Luminosity Gaming, the crowd goes wild. They hold the north side of the zone. The only other team they have to worry about is Elevate Bleed.
I mean, LG, they had their spot and then they gave it up. We don't know what for, but it does mean that when they come back in, they're going to be regretting that decision. Guild have taken over their spot, and Twisted Minds are now looking to push up from the south. The zone is on the move, and they need to be too. Every team from Skyhook now coming out, taking zips, throwing down their exhibits.
I mean, it's looking like a Venn diagram out here. 3 exhibits are out on your map. Icholos get eliminated here. 7 squads left. And currently, Mizuchi also approaching from the south side, looking at Guild FaZe. Synthetic still alive. But with Blue Evils, Nags is literally one. They're playing split up, but they have no other choice. They were stuck between 2 in-game, and Gladiators take them out.
Okay, but now it's the Aussie showdown. Or at least some of them. Mizuchi versus Guild here. Guild were holding it. Can they hold on to the position, or will Mizuchi run through them like they have many other teams in this series?
Not the family reunion that they wanted, because MT had something else to say. Falcons through the windows, get some cracks going. Zero force them back away to pop this shield back, but they have the timing, and you can even see right there, they're just making sure to elevate. Won't try to push onto them, but in the market, it is Gaming Gladiators trying to capitalize off of Guild.
Oh, perfect time to push in for GG here, and you can see they've got Guild on the run.
Wrapping around though, Blast with a huge Evil Shield swap. Light trying to see if he could do the same. He's literally one. Doesn't have any Evil Shield in there because it was swapped earlier. He could do it right here. They're also right next to the gen. Guild Esports get eliminated. 3 squads left, and Elevate Bleed are taking this fight versus Falcons.
Falcons, they've guaranteed a top 3 and have finally made it up to purple. They take out Elevate. The crowd goes wild, but GG will move in.
And the pop-up comes in. Gaming Gladiators now slide in versus Team Falcons. Light is not able to fully heal, but the same thing for Hal, as he is the first one taken out.
Can't even get the bats off. They're only popping shield cells. They think they do not have the time. How on the ground can Zero and Jen bring this back?
This is where the synergy really plays off here, Genome. Zero with the quick swap. Doesn't have attachments for this Havoc. Can this be detrimental now as GG look to contest by the stairwell? Zero, he was in the middle of the animation of reloading. Are you kidding me? Gaming Gladiators stop their run and take game number 3.
Once they got the initial pick, it was just too hard for Falcons. Too much